Hi guys, Grant Shapps, the business secretary, was doing the rounds on Sunday morning and he was asked about the strikes, in particular those happening in the NHS. Now he claimed that workers in the health service were not providing minimum cover. Why did he do this? Well, of course, it's to make them look bad. We've seen ample evidence of ambulance crews leaving the picket line to respond to emergencies. The truth, of course, has been the first casualty in the war between the Tories and the trade unions. But Sharon Graham, the General Secretary of the Unite Union, called out Shapps here and called him a liar. Have a listen to this.
To our viewers, but isn't the state of play and just how desperate and sometimes dangerous things are, isn't that exactly the reason why walking out is actually going to put patients in even more peril?
Well, actually, again, listening to Grant Shapps, I mean, I haven't used this word so much about politicians, I don't think, ever in 30 years, but he's actually lying. The idea that he is saying that ambulance workers did not do minimum cover in the dispute is an absolute, utter lie. And it's important that we rectify that this morning. That is not true. What we are doing is that we, of course, are making things as safe as possible. And you can look at our stats to show that that has happened. But on a daily basis, this government is putting people's lives at risk. We've got 500 people dying in a single week just waiting for ambulances, and that's outside other pieces. They need to come to the table. Where is Rishi Sunak? This is either because this man is out of his depth, he doesn't know what he's doing, or there's a much more sinister reason as to why they are doing this to the NHS.
But Sharon Graham.
So it's either Grant Shapps and Rishi Sunak don't know what the hell they're doing, or it's something more sinister. Which do you think it is? Because I believe it's something much more sinister. This is about destroying the NHS. This is about destroying the unions, breaking up the unions. Look, first of all, in order to achieve that, you have to turn the public against them. And they said, look, we can't afford pay rises. We have to deal with inflation. You know, we wasted all this money on PPE to our friends. You know, we wasted all this money on corruption. We gave £37 billion to Dido Harding. We don't know where that money is gone. And we have decided not to claw back fraud during the pandemic, where we give out money to people and they didn't pay it back. And it's gone. We're not going to claw it back. But this is part of a bigger plan. This is about destroying the unions. Like Margaret Thatcher did when it came to the mine workers, the miners' strike. It's about planting a flag and saying we're going to push for more privatizations. We're going to push for changes to working rights. We're more supportive of companies firing staff and hiring agency staff because those agency staff have fewer rights. It maximizes profit. It encourages companies to provide a dividend to the shareholders and not reinvest the money in paying higher wages or whatever. It's ideological on one side, but it's also economic on the other. They would prefer a smaller state. They would prefer the private sector doing most of the heavy lifting, be it in the NHS or be it on the railways, whatever. This is about destroying public services and handing it over, in some cases for free, to the private sector, or selling it off to their friends and donors. And in order to achieve that, you first have to turn the public against those public services, be it the NHS, be it the fire service, schools, anything. First, you turn the public against it by using your friends in the media to say, look, this isn't working. It needs to be reformed. And of course, reform is code word for privatization. They can't succeed. They must not succeed. Because the healthcare service needs to be publicly run and the privatization needs to be stopped. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.